All right, so we got update 2.8 for you guys. This one is going to be massive. There's some huge changes. I don't think anybody realizes how big these changes are going to be. We're going to check out a few different things of what you guys can expect in the 2.8 update. However, there's two things specific that I want to really dive in and get you guys fired up and get you guys down in the comment section to discuss this. And that's a weapon coming out of the airdrop that will now be a world spawn, and then a world spawn weapon that is going to be going into the airdrop. And it's a change. If you haven't heard of it yet, you are going to be incredibly surprised what it is. Huge shout out to Lucky Man. As you guys know, everybody that we feature here on the channel, we always link their channels down in the description. I'm going to have it muted. It is in Hindi, but if you'd like to go ahead and watch the original video, go ahead and check them out. So the first one, and this one is not going to be game changing, at least that I can foresee, which is a combat knife. I mean, for TikTok, it's going to be great. I think a lot of people are going to absolutely troll the hell out of people with this. Seems like it does a lot more damage than a pan or a machete. But you have a combat knife, something cool. Again, I don't know how meta changing it's going to be, but definitely, it's going to be a fun item, something new to the game. This one, I know you guys are getting excited about, and I'm going to show you guys more of this later on, which is zombies. We have zombies coming back. So for those of you that haven't had a chance to experience zombie mode, you're gonna be able to in update 2.8. Now, this one again, this is more quality of life, not game changing, but now you can customize where you want your shoot and where you want your jump. How many of you, like me, have accidentally pressed with your thumb your shoot when you first jump out of the airplane, and then before you know you're parachuting for 10 minutes in the match? I really hope, from what it looks like, this is going to be the hot drop. Look at this place. This is what we want right here. Just looking at a glance, you can tell it's not going to be too massive like we've seen in some of the other events. It's not going to be incredibly teeny tiny like we saw. Even Dino Ground, the hot drop, was relatively small compared to others, as well as especially in the Dragon Ball mode. It's definitely a very small, many would say lackluster hot drop. This one not only looks badass, the size looks amazing, the loot everywhere. You have these little buildings going around the outside. You have the main area right here. Only God knows what's going to come out of that ginormous glob right there. So this is a hot drop I think a lot of people get excited about. It's going to be, if you really think about it, Halloween is right around the corner. So this one's going to be fun. I can already tell. You can see it has it looks like it's dusk, and it's going to be cool. You see your extra items here. What's cool about this hot drop, you also have indoor. You have your these underground structures as well as outside, which is going to be cool. Don't know what that is. But I imagine maybe some crazy monster from your worst nightmare is going to pop out of there. You kill him, you get a bunch of loot. It's going to be a great time. Now, what's really cool about this is these look 10 times better than the zombies for those of us that played it from before, The Darkest Night and Survive Till Dawn. These zombies look 10 times better than the other. Not that the other ones didn't look cool, but these are definitely enhanced. Look at that. That looks awesome. Cannot wait for. I'm so glad it's like official. You know what I mean? Zombies are coming back, and I'm more excited for the players that never got to experience playing zombies. So it's going to be a good time. All right, this is what I wanted to turn your guys' attention to. Wait until you see what weapon is now going to be world spawn, and it's not just so much. Okay, well, let's go ahead and watch it. In case you guys haven't seen it, I don't want to do any spoilers. Over here in George, check this out. Look at what weapon. I could have done just a whole video on this. Look what weapon is going to be a world spawn now. We have the AUG A3 is now going to be available. I would imagine that's going to be on every map. There's so many questions surrounding this, and what sucks is I have no answers to them. However, I do have some speculation. Any weapon that they've ever pulled out of the crate and turned into a world spawn, for example, like the M249, it got nerfed into the ground. Okay, M249 compared to the old M249, night and day. So the AUG, for most people that actually use it, it's actually a beloved weapon in this game. People love the AUG. But when you get it, most people, even believe it or not, they will drop an M4 for an AUG because of its pinpoint accuracy and lack of horizontal recoil, which is the one you can't control. What I'm afraid is going to happen in this situation, which would only make sense, is my speculation is the AUG is not going to be the AUG that you know and love right now. This gun, I'll imagine, will have some sort of a nerf, whether they're going to increase the recoil, the horizontal or even the vertical recoil. They might reduce the damage and make it what it used to be. So it'll be basically the same damage that, say, an M4 does. Maybe it could be the level of a Scar L damage, but I can pretty much guarantee you there's no way they're going to make this weapon a world spawn and have it be the exact same weapon from the crate. Any weapon they've taken out, they've changed. So, and by changed, I mean nerf. Wait until you guys see the weapon that's going into the crate. Let's go ahead and take a look. Had to do, I saw that was, that rant was longer than I expected. But this is a really, really big deal, especially the fact it'll be on every map. I mean, the AUG, it's second to none. So look at this. Okay. This one, at glance, right off, I'm kind of speechless, if you couldn't tell. I'm kind of speechless about this one. The FAMAS. The FAMAS is going into the airdrop. I don't even really have words. The FAMAS is a weapon for like 99% of players. It's a weapon that you'll pick up if it's like the first gun you land on, like say at a hot drop. And then any other 5.56 weapon that you pick up, you will instantly swap it out. And for the most part, it's an incredibly inaccurate weapon. The recoil is absolutely horrendous. It's basically CQC. It can't be used mid-range, can't be used long-range. The only thing it has going for it is it does a lot of damage. But there's other things like SMGs, which will also do just as much damage, but be much more accurate and can kill the target faster. So by the FAMAS going into an airdrop, I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat here. My speculation is this is going to be the 5.56 version of the Groza. There's no way in hell they're going to take the FAMAS that's a world spawn, just like the AUG. They're not going to take the FAMAS that we know right now, that we know and hate, and just put it in the airdrop. There's no way they're going to do that. What I imagine, like I said, it'll be the 5.56 version of the Groza. Maybe they'll up the damage. Maybe they can make it towards at least kind of like the Groza for a lot of players if you can control recoil. Hopefully for the FAMAS, they can at least extend the meters per second to at least make it viable and maybe that 100 to 150 meter range and still be accurate. I can see people getting behind it because, for good reason. There's no real 5.56 weapon that is going to just completely shred through enemies like we have with the MK14 and the Groza. Maybe they'll do some, they're going to tweak the numbers for the FAMAS, and maybe, we'll look back at this video laughing and we'll all be pleasantly surprised. I hope that's the case, because the FAMAS, I'm not even sorry. It's just absolute trash. So again, I don't know how Lucky Man's recoil is, his recoil control, but even from those shots, even in that other one, it doesn't seem that accurate. Of course, when they drop an AUG, of course they're gonna have a fire ass skin that's gonna come with it. This is gonna be awesome. This is a look at the final form. Of course, it's always gonna look much better in game. And last but not least, I think there's just another kind of. I think this possibly could be the lobby for the zombies. He's gonna pick up some items. Only God knows what those are. And you also can bring zombies into World of Wonder for those of you guys that are gonna be doing that. And there's also World of Wonder for Karrakin. So, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's gonna be so much more coming in this update. That is wild.